There's absolutely no doubt about it. Stress will have a negative impact on your fat loss efforts if you don't take the appropriate measures to adapt your training, diet, and lifestyle to the situation. In today's video, I'm going to go over some recent discussions that I've had with a couple of my coaching clients who have dealt with some extra stresses in their lives recently and how they handled these situations. First off, we're going to talk about Jeff, who has been absolutely crushing this cutting phase. And he has found that in his previous cutting phases, he really benefited from having a diet break scheduled throughout the phase, especially more towards the end where it gets a little bit more challenging, where you're getting deeper and deeper into that cutting phase. So even if the recent research speaks against any kind of physiological or psychological benefits to taking diet breaks, Jeff knows like himself from past experiences, he's really benefited from it. And he's definitely benefiting big time right now from this 2-week diet break that he's already had scheduled, planned into this cutting phase. He's feeling more energetic in the gym, a lot more focus, mental clarity. It's great to have his strength back up again. And he just knows that as soon as this 2-week diet break ends, he's going to finish this cutting phase much stronger. He's just going to be in a better mental state to just really give his absolute best effort to cross that finish line there. Now, for myself personally, I love to just get it done and over with. Others are the same, but others do benefit from incorporating that diet break in there. So you really got to know yourself. If it's going to help you achieve your goal actually quicker, if you do take this little diet break now, because you're not going to have any little setbacks towards the end there. You're really going to be able to finish things strong. So know yourself there. Now, Jeff, even though he had this 2-week diet break planned, there was a few days before it was planned where he sent me a message saying, you know what, I'm going to start my diet break a few days early. Really, my workload has increased quite a bit. I've got extra stress going on in my life right now. I just know that being in a calorie deficit, that added stress that comes from it, I'm just not going to be able to handle it as well as I could if I was up to maintenance level calories here. So he started it early, so he learned his lesson there that because he knew this was just going to be a short-term thing, it was only a few extra days in up to maintenance level calories, so maybe a few extra days where he's going to have to diet before he achieves his final goal there. He was willing to do that because it was in his best interest. He knew that he would just be banging his head against the wall, beating himself down if he tried to remain in a calorie deficit for these final few days there. And even if that diet break wasn't planned, it'd be good to kind of take that diet break for him during this time for a few weeks, just while he's dealing with these extra stresses. Now, if you're facing a increased workload yourself, but you know it's going to last like 2-3 months, you still want to achieve your fat loss goals, a 2 to 3 month diet break isn't going to serve you best. What would be in your best interest is trying to simplify the process as much as you can. Make it as mindless and effortless as possible. A way to do that is to have a structured meal plan in place. Like for myself personally, even when I'm not under any stress, I like to have my first 3 meals of the day are often exactly the same. I have my breakfast shake as meal number 1. My second meal is always like eggs, veggies, along with a bowl of oats and berries. My third meal is Greek yogurt and some berries in there. So I don't have to think about that. It is like effortless. It's automatic for me. So I know I always have those foods in my house. That's what I stock up on. And easy to prepare, easy to have around. And my dinners, I have like 4 to 7, maybe 10 kind of go-to meals that I'll rotate through. But I'd say it's more like 5. I keep it simple because I do have like salmon and veggies and either sweet potatoes and rice 2 to 3 times per week. I'll have a chicken fajita bowl once a week. I'll have pork cutlets once a week. Sometimes I'll have a tuna steak once a week. So there's a lot of my go-to meals. Again, it's effortless for me. It's mindless. I know this is what I'm going to have each and every week. So I highly recommend that you get some sort of structured meal plan in place, and even doing a little bit of meal prepping if you find that that's going to work you best for some of these meals that can make it easier on yourself. And it's for some people, tracking calories can be an added stress, but if you have your structured meals in place, you save those meals in your tracking app, and it's just a click of a button when you have it. You don't have to like look for all the items and everything. Just click that meal. It's there. And actually, if you're having structured meals, you know your calories to begin with anyways. Like I already know what my calories are going to be at the end of those 3 meals. I don't have to track those meals each and every day because I know it's just going to be the same as what it was before. So it makes it effortless for me to know the portion sizes that I'm consuming or I need to consume in order to achieve my fat loss goals. And the structured meals are all great meals that I enjoy, that I love. easy to prepare again, and just make things as mindless and simple as possible. So I highly, highly recommend that when it comes to your diet. Simplify the process if you know you're going to be going. I mean, really, I think it's what you should do, whether you're not stressed or whether you're under a whole bunch of stress. Just try to make things as simple as possible. I wouldn't worry about trying to get to every single gram, right down to the gram with your meals there. And if you're not having any structured meals and you're trying to like, all right, dinner time, I'm gonna have this and this, but oh, wait a second, that's gonna put me over my fat content, so I gotta reduce this here and put that there. Like, don't add any of that stress to your life. Keep things as simple as possible. Now, one of my other coaching clients, Kevin, sent me a message the other day. He's dealing with some extra work stresses right now, and he decided not to go to his BJJ class in the evening, and he found that he kind of regretted it afterwards, because once he just sat down and relaxed, had a little something to eat, he's like, felt so much better. And then the next morning, woke up still kind of feeling that work stress and everything. He's like, man, I don't know if I'm going to work out right now. But we found that once he had his coffee, just woke up a little bit, and he started doing it. He ended up having a pretty darn good workout. So oftentimes in these situations, if you're facing especially like acute stresses like that, sometimes it's better you want to set yourself up for victory. So just say, you know what? I'm under stress right now. I'm a little bit distracted at this moment. Let's just go and focus on lifting lighter weights for higher repetitions. I'm not going to push it too hard. I'm not going to train to failure. I'm going to keep a few reps in reserve there. I just want to get a good little pump on and use it as an opportunity to kind of reduce my stress. Get there, just try to clear my head while I'm there. Focus on the weights. Just lift that iron. Focus on the pump. Just be present in the moment while I'm there. And walking out of the gym feeling victorious because you achieved what you set out to achieve, rather than I got to get to the gym. It's my scheduled workout. I've got to hit a personal best today. I've got to make some progress in the gym here. You get in there, you just can't hit the weights, and you walk out feeling defeated. Like, what the hell? I'm already having a terrible day. Now wasn't able to lift the weights that I was able to lift. You're beating yourself up. You're feeling guilty and all this stuff. Like, that's not what you want to do. You want to set yourself up for success. And again, if you know it's going to be like long-term work stress and everything, structure your workouts in a way that's going to suit your lifestyle at this time and set you up for success. So maybe you have to cut your workouts from 5 or 6 days a week down to 4 days per week, or even 3 days per week. That's cool. Like, do what's going to suit you best. Maybe instead of spending 75 minutes in the gym, you can only spend 45 minutes in the gym. What can you do to maximize your time in there? So again, keeping it simple and really working with your body and the situation. Now, even better than kind of adapting your training and your nutrition to these stresses is learning to handle these stresses better. This is a conversation that I was having with both Kevin and Jeff here. It's like, a lot of times the stresses come from us worrying and focusing on things that are out of our control. Like, we can't control what happened in the past. We can't control what we think is going to happen in the future, which probably won't happen in the future. We spend so much time beating ourselves up in our mind and hurting ourselves more in our mind than whatever happens in reality. So really focus on what you can control. And what we can control is how we internalize and respond to the situation. So rather than dwelling on the problems that we're facing right now, just go, oh my God, I can't believe I have to deal with this. I can't believe I have to deal with this. Playing it over and over in your mind, the problem over and over in your mind. Give yourself that chance, like, all right, I can't believe this happened. Really freaking sucks. Give yourself 60 seconds to have that pity party and everything, and then focus on the solution. Like, what can you do to overcome this challenge? What can you do to move yourself forward? Maybe your first solution doesn't actually work. Say, I got to keep trying. Like, what can I do now to try to move myself forward? So focus more on being solution focused rather than problem focused, because just focusing on the problem isn't going to solve anything. It's just going to keep you stuck in this moment feeling awful. So learning to let go of what you can't control and focus on what you can. Oftentimes easier said than done, but the more you practice this, I guarantee it's going to have an incredibly positive impact on your overall well-being. This past year, I've been telling you guys in these videos here, my clients, members of the Jacked After 40 Club, like, I have never felt such an overwhelming sense of calm come over me. Like, I handle stressful situations way better than I ever did in the past. I used to handle them not so well. There'd be moments where I'd be very reactive in those situations and really let my emotions get the best of me. And now I'm like processing it and like, all right, I can't control what another person says or does, how they act. Like, I can just control. It shouldn't have an impact on me. It's you having that impact on yourself if you don't internalize it properly and just take it in. That's them expressing themselves. How can you handle this How can you handle this experience? Again, reacting, I prefer in kindness more than anything, because you don't know what that person is personally going through. So really learning to, again, let go of what's out of your control, handling these situations a lot better. Myself personally, like, I really find winding down at the end of the day, having a good little wind down routine where you either journal, to do a brain dump, get anything out of your mind that might be in there that's going to stop you from sleeping, because sleep, when you're faced with these stressful situations, is the number one thing that you can do for yourself to really help, again, manage that stress. That's your body's going to help reduce that cortisol levels while you're sleeping at night. And again, allow you to wake up with better focus and mental clarity to handle these stresses a lot better and perform your best. So really, that wind down routine is crucial for me. Maybe a little stretching, maybe a little meditation audio. Again, I love the meditation audios that tell me to let go of my thoughts from the day. Now is the time for sleep. Like, sleep is the most important thing for you. So again, I do find a little meditation, just deep breathing, like throughout the day. Again, that's why I like to have like a midday yoga practice, because it's a little reset for me where we're focused on our breath, we're focused on our body, we're kind of, because you're focused on yourself internally, you're not worrying about all the stresses and everything around you there. You're really present in the moment, soaking everything in. So highly recommending stuff like that. But even if you're faced with that situation, there's nothing better than just, all right, take a few deep breaths here, focus on your breath, ground yourself before you react to any kind of situation here. So really learning to handle your stress is the key, even more than trying to adapt your training or adapt your nutrition to the stresses and everything in your life. Just learning how to handle these stresses a lot better. But again, simplifying the process is going to be key for you during these situations. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, please do me a favor and smash that thumbs up button. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that alert button so you're notified each time I upload a video. If you know a fellow bro who would benefit from watching today's video, please do me a favor and share it with them. But more than anything, I'd love to hear from you down in the comment section below. Share your thoughts, share your insights, share your feedback, share your personal experiences. How do you handle stressful situations, whether it's acute stress that just happens that day? What do you do different with your workouts, with your nutrition? Like, do you become an emotional eater, or have you learned to handle those situations better and not allow that to trigger your eating habits there? So how do you handle these situations? How do you handle the long-term stresses where you got extra workload going on in the office there, and you know it's going to be for an extended period of time? How do you handle those situations? I would love to hear from you. Before you go, don't forget to download your free guide, Lose Fat, Get Jacked. Have yourself an amazing day. Catch you next video.